Hello! Today we will be printing our stamps using markers, a sponge and water, and paper. I hope you have fun today. Your stamps can come out really nice if you follow these directions.
Before you move on to stamping your stamp though, you do need to make sure that your stamp is finished. If you have a paper attached to it like this one, please make sure that you remove the paper and the tape when you are done tracing your stamp. I am not done tracing my stamp. As you can see here, I still need to trace the top of the hat. Once you have removed the paper and the tape, then you'll need to use a pen. The pens are located underneath the screen near the iPads. And there's a big bucket of pens up there, so you can go grab one and use that pen to make your lines really deep down into the styrofoam. We want our lines to be very deep so that when we print on our paper, the lines can show up. If the lines are not deep enough, we will not be able to see them. So we need to make sure that they're very deep. Go over each line 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 times. Oops, I made a mistake, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there because I can't erase. If you did not yet make your stamp, you can do that right away. And then once your stamp is made, you will be able to print it on some paper, probably today. When you're done making your stamp and the lines are nice and deep, then you can start coloring your stamp. Be sure to color in the whole stamp. If you do not color in the whole stamp, it might look something like this.
Okay, now my stamp is colored. But be careful because the stamp doesn't really absorb the moisture of the marker, so it is going to be very messy. If I touch it, it is going to get my hands a little bit messy. So I'm going to be very careful, kind of grab it on the sides. I'm going to set that out of the way because I'm going to talk to you about your paper. Now you have a choice of using a small paper or you can do a big paper. Now the big papers are nice because you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4 stamps on your paper. All you have to do is make sure that you get the stamp right in the corner of the paper when you press it on so that you leave space for the other 3 things that you're going to stamp on there.
If you're just gonna do one paper, that could look like this. Just take a sponge. Make sure that you squeeze it out. Now you'll be sharing this sponge with the people at your table. And might need just a tad more water on there. And sometimes you do get fingerprints on your paper. That's okay. Okay, I've got the paper wet, but I don't want it puddly, so I have to be careful not to have it be in a puddle. Put the sponge back, and then carefully grab your stamp on the edges like this. Carefully flip it over. Once this touches down to the paper, I cannot move it side to side. So if I don't get it placed perfectly, I do not want to pick it up and turn it to where I want it. So just carefully set it down, then press straight down on it, and it can help to get your finger wet so your finger can glide over the back of the stamp very easily. And you're gonna rub, rub, rub the whole back of the stamp. Give it a nice massage. Oops, I kind of moved the edge there. That's okay. I'm holding it in place with one hand, and with the other hand, I am rubbing over all of the parts of my stamp. I can pick it up and see if it's turning out. Oh, I need to get this part right over there. See if I can press that on a little bit more. Okay, it looks like it's coming out pretty well. Press a little bit more here. And squeaky. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I like that. Yay. Now, my stamp is kind of messy, but I do not want to use this sponge to clean it off. This sponge needs to stay clear so that when we wipe it on our paper, it does not have any color on it. So please do not use this sponge to wipe this off so that you can color again. You'll need to actually get up and go over to the sink to wash it off, like this. Go over and turn on the water and rinse all the marker off of your stamp.
We need to be very gentle with our stamp because if our stamp gets bent or the corners break, then we would have to start all over, and that would not be good. We want to be able to use this again. So when you're done, you're going to place it on one of these towels, and you can just grab another towel and just gently blot it off. That means that you're not scrubbing it, you're not wiping back and forth really hard, you're just gently pressing the towel on there to absorb any moisture that is on it. Now, it might not get perfectly dry, but that is very dry, I think, and it is ready to take back to my spot, and now I can color it again and make another stamp. You can use any colors you want to color your stamp. They could be realistic or abstract. Sometimes it is really fun to try some abstract colors. You might notice that I have some water puddles on my work spot. That is making it very hard for me to color my stamp. We will make sure we have some hand towels at your table so that you can wipe up any spills from the sponges, because they can be kind of messy.
Ta-da! I'm all done with my 4-section prints. The paper is divided into fourths on that one, and I've got this one too. When you're making your prints, you might want to be thinking about what are you going to do with these prints. This is something that might be nice for the art show, or if I have little ones like this, I could cut them out and put them on a background paper for the art show. Maybe I could put 4 of the little ones together after I cut them out, or maybe the little ones are something that I might give to someone. Maybe I could give it to my mom or my grandpa or my friend. And so I could make a lot of these, keeping in mind that I could use them for different things. Like this one could be the art show, and this one could be to give to someone. And we do want to keep our stamp, so at the end of class, be sure to wipe off your stamp. If we start to run low on time, we do not want to color anymore, because remember that the marker doesn't really dry on here. So if you don't get it done with the printing part today, then you're going to have to wash off whatever you've got on there. So I'll try to give you more of a notice when we're coming close to the end of class so that you can make sure to print your last print.
We definitely want to keep these here so that we can use a brayer next time to roll printing ink on our stamp and then press that onto a paper.
Let's review those directions again. First, you're going to make your stamp. Then you're going to color it. Then you will wet your paper with a sponge. We don't want it to be too wet or too dry. The first one could be a practice. Then press your stamp on and rub it. Then peel it off and you've got a stamp. Wash your stamp with water. Then pat it nice and dry. You're ready to start it all over again.
Wait, what were those directions?
Okay, one more time. First make your stamp, then color it. Wet your paper. Then press your stamp on and rub the back. Peel it off and you're done. Wash and dry your stamp and start again.